You guys like old bad MMOs? I like remembered this existed and looked up how it was doing, and the class that I played may not even be in the game anymore. Like, several classes are either named different things or are just entirely different things. I don't even have my old account. It's like, that account had like a fucking max move speed mount on it, but I'm sure they power crept that at some point. And it's like, better to get the fresh account experience anyway, right? Just like, really sit down and take it in. You know Adventure Quest Worlds is still running? I was fucking talking about this in dev the other night. Like, so many games that you would expect to no longer be running are still running. I fucking played like 30 minutes of EverQuest the other night. EverQuest might be one of the worst things that I have ever played, by the way. Which is wild because it, like, invented MMOs. But, like... Wasn't this an 80s game? So, there's Neverwinter Nights, right? And Neverwinter Nights is, like, one of those games in, like, the classic tradition of, like, computer RPGs that crib really heavily from Dungeons and Dragons. And, like, Neverwinter Nights and Neverwinter Nights 2 are both, like, famous for having, like, really good systems for, like, building custom content. People can do custom maps, custom quests, custom dialogue, and so you had a lot of people who were building their own adventures in it. Like a fucking tabletop, you know, like D&D, you know? And that's a bunch of cool fucking stuff. That was, like, remember when BioWare was fucking based? And so Neverwinter, the MMO, comes out, and they've actually got a system that's kind of like that. They've got a set of in-game quest development tools called the Foundry. And it's like... It's not quite as powerful as, like, the standalone set of, like, really gritty fucking quest developer bullshit. But, like, you can still make custom areas, you can, like, place props and set up combat encounters and do fucking level scaling and bullshit like that. You can do dialogue and NPCs. And they have this set up as, like, a quest system inside of the MMO where these things would be automatically assigned rewards based on how long they take to complete on average to, like, a daily or a weekly cap, I think. And you'd get a daily quest that was just like, hey, go do your fucking daily Foundry, and you'd go walk through somebody else's little module and get your fucking payout of gold and astral diamonds for it. And that was pretty neat. And I don't think the Foundry is in the game anymore. Let's see. Yeah, second result. I missed the Foundry. April 11th, 2019. On April 11th, we are sad to announce that we will be sunsetting the Foundry system for Neverwinter and Star Trek Online. The legacy knowledge required to maintain the Foundry at our quality standards is no longer available. What? The legacy knowledge, that is such a specific fucking thing to say. And that has a very particular meaning, I think. And the meaning of that is there was one guy who cared about this feature, and we fired him. Or he left because we suck. Alright, let's start my adventure. Oh! Alright, there he is. There's the guy. Let's turn up the audio as far as it'll go. Oh yeah, I forgot. They still had you, like, rolling ability scores and, like, point buying in the early versions of this game. I wonder whether that's still like a thing. Again, they got, like, microtransaction races now, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just strictly better. Life is good. Dwarves are just... They look a particular way, and I fuck with it. Is this still online, or is this just local only? This game is still in service. This game got, like, an expansion yesterday, or something. Fucking... Hold on, Neverwinter news. Neverwinter Mountain of Flame, July 16th, 2024. Hell yeah. I literally have not played this game, like, since the first expansion, when the PvP meta was just to have invulnerability enchants and, like, roll on people. And, like, right after they killed Trickster Rogue, Shocking Execute, and every single match was, like, 4 Great Weapon Fighters and a fucking Cleric, because they deleted the only thing that could kill Great Weapon Fighter from PvP. That was a really good time. So I imagine the situation has changed somewhat. 10% bonus to movement speed for 3 seconds when you enter combat. I mean, nothing is worse than not going fast, right? Holy fuck, that's loud. Okay, so I guess, like... Fucking Fighter, as, like, a concept, used to be split into, like, Great Weapon Fighter and Guardian Fighter, where one was a tank role and another was, like, sort of just a brawler DPS. And I guess either that's been, like, moved down into a specialization, or, like, Great Weapon is now Barbarian. Upon reaching level 11, fighters may specialize in either tanking or dealing damage. Alright, we got a trinity in this shit now. This is so loud. Why did the sound effects go so hard? Nice guitar, bro. Just had to, like, get it out of my system. So, like, I played Rogue, and I guess, like, for the culture shock experience, I should pick Rogue again, because it'll probably be some different kind of fucked up thing. They still got stealth, they still got execute. Wow, the tooltips are small, that's based. 20%, huh? Alright, real. Lashing Blade, was that... I remember some big, stupid, goofy nuke that had a stealth kicker effect that dazed your target. It's like, because I like the idea. I always liked the idea of playing Guardian Fighter because they've got, like, a directional block mechanic that made them, like, really annoying side noders where you'd have to send multiple people for them, usually. I was into PvP. No surprises there, right? Dexterity and strength are useful ability scores. So, does that roll? Or is this just the way that it goes? I think that's just racial ability scores. Well, sure. It's a very human-looking half-orc. Is this one of those MMOs that block off a majority of the game for free-to-players, or is it a lot more open? It's a perfect world game. I don't think the barrier between free-to-play and paying is like a wall, so much as it is like a steep slope between like human beings with impulse control and whales. Even when I played, like, the amount of power you could acquire for Astral Diamonds was, like, very funny. Alright, I'm definitely gonna need to see, like, as much hair clipping as possible. And also, we're just here for long styles in general. There's a limit to it, of course, but hey. That's rather restrictive. Check out how normal I am. What did Perfect World fucking publish? Well, that's a really, like, viscerally unattractive fucking landing page. They did a fucking Persona 5 game? What the fuck? Very interesting. What the fuck is Persona 5 The Phantom X? Has anyone heard of this? Very confusing. P5 Chinese gacha? Yeah! Final Fantasy Type 0 online. Oh yeah, they fucking published Blacklight Retribution as well, which was like, yeah, that was just about as pay to win as you could make, like a game that was Call of Duty. Like it was just Call of Duty. So that was very exciting. All right, well, we've got some racial restrictions going on. So I'm probably not going to spend an outrageous amount of time on character creation. Surely it will be straightforward for me to change these choices later. Clueless. Oh yeah, then you're picking, like, your backstory, fucking patron deity. We have clicked on Bahamut. Life is good. Can I do a capital R? Will it allow me? Hey, let me in. Gaming. Where the protagonists are adults. No shit. That's nice. We gotta stop fucking setting things in high school. Nothing interesting happens in high school. It fucking doesn't matter. December 2021. Embracer Group buys Perfect World Entertainment for $125 million. Also, at some point, they got a majority stake in fucking Runic, the guys who made Torchlight, which I guess is why there was a Torchlight mobile game. That's very confusing. Wait, how long has Runic been dead? What? Wait. Was the distance between those two articles? We have acquired Runic, and Runic is fucking dead. Okay, wrong line. I thought for a second that it was a 3-month window, but it was actually like 6 years. Okay. It's like the fact that this game is still getting content updates is like, it's one of those where you have to figure it's relatively inexpensive to run this type of game. A lot of old MMOs, the calculus comes out that as long as you have a couple of whales, you can just introduce, like, you do a new gacha set, and you do, like, a couple of new dungeons in a new zone every now and again. And, like, as long as somebody knows the creation toolkit well enough to do this, the actual work of running the game can be, like, a handful of guys. And, like, whatever you're paying for your cloud instances. And that can just run more or less indefinitely until the player numbers go down. Fight choreography is a mystery to everyone. The version of Rogue that I played was extremely funny because you were ostensibly a melee character, but, like, you would close to melee only to, like, two-shot someone, and for the rest of every match, you were invisible, plinking them from range, and, like, doing dismount combos when they tried to fucking deal with you on a side node. Because it's like a 3CP deal in PvP, or at least it was. God only knows what it is now. And you figure, like, some amount of money was involved here. We're not quite on the level of, like, hi, I'm Blizzard and I make Diablo. But, like, you figure D&D as a property, they're pretty selective about fucking how it's treated. And I remember the production values in this game being pretty good, outside of, like, an LOD bug. This is a funny one. There was, like, some fucking late-game leveling area that was, like, a big fucking circular path around a volcano where you would go, like, all the way down one side and then all the way up on another to get to a particular quest objective. Except the quest path, the little sparkle trail that showed you where to go, would, like, lead you directly into a wall, right? It would, like, try to cut through a wall directly between, like, the start and the end of the zone, which, like, never happens, right? It was always really well behaved. But it turns out that if you set your graphics settings to low, one of the wall that was between those two locations, like the big rock formation that made it so you had to go all the way down the fucking volcano, just disappeared, and behind it was like a very obviously modeled path. Like you were intended to be able to progress through the zone that way at some point, and then it just fucking, they just blocked it off to force you to do the route. And they only updated that on, like, the higher LODs. Alright, where are we in terms of controls? Mouse look sensitivity. Yeah, that's gonna need to go down just a bit. We'll put this thing in fucking QWERTY and hope that it's alright. I have no weapon. Why did that happen? That sound killed my entire audio interface, I guess, so that's cool. I wonder if it's like... is it my interface, or the cable, or the fucking port, or the software? Who knows?
Still walk. You were in bad shape when we pulled you from the front line. I don't know how I feel about untested adventurers volunteering their aid in this fight.
So I'm just some fucking guy who got conscripted into fuck. My life's great.
Blasted Dracolich is tearing through our ranks. Protectors Enclave.
Oh yeah, we still got the fucking dialogue running in the back.
Fight your way to the Sleeping Dragon Bridge. If you see a particularly imposing tiefling, that's Makos.
Alright. Equip, equip, equip. God only knows where my character panel is. I'm sure they'll show me eventually. Yeah, that is still the same basic attack combo. We are gaming for sure. Those are the same fucking moves. The way this is animated never changed. That has, like, stacking damage, and you would just ruin people's lives with it by, like, explicitly refusing to ever cast it while you were visible to them, so they just get plinked by invisible bullshit. Do I have a roll? Yeah, I got my roll. Let's double tap. Ooh! Definitely the way this game is animated looks a particular way. Just a little choppy. Just a little. used to hearing that fucking clicking noise 100,000 times. Are they gonna let me stealth yet? It's on tab, but I don't think I'm allowed to use it yet. Use space to jump over the fallen log. It starts and it ends, therefore it's animated. That's true. That's a true and real statement. As somebody who can't navigate any location for shit, I have a respect for, like, the Sparkle Trail, the quest path. Now, like, there is something a little bit, like, dark about its existence. Welcome to Flow State. Your conscious engagement is not required. Please just kill the monsters and spend money. But, like, it ain't all that bad, right? And, like, also in general, I just appreciate fucking the shit. The way this feels is, like, why I like action camera so much in Guild Wars, because I'm just, like, I'm very used to, like, crosshair reticle. Yeah, but what if I, like, walked over here and clicked some buttons? I bet I'm not even gaining XP in this sequence. This is mad loud, which feels impossible, right? Yeah, we got jump rolls. We got that full distance.
Ah, good. You look capable.
This is a much different opening than I remember, but I imagine that when you run a game like this for this long, you probably redo player onboarding like 50 times, especially as, like, the end game moves out from under you. Because not many people do it like FF14, where you really do have to go through all of the old stuff to get to the new stuff. Especially games that are built like this kind of want to teleport you to the new stuff. Because, like, the social cohesion element is considered, like, more important than whatever slop was previously placed in front of the player. The way the camera just fucking flicks around for that. Yeah, it's like, why does the game look like this? I guess we'll never fucking know, huh? I can zoom out a little bit. Enemy sounds ever. I'm just gonna poke around a little bit while we're here. Double tap to roll / sprint. Location targeting activation. Yeah, they got, like, fast cast stuff for fucking area skills. Because remember, you're not, like, placing them with a mouse cursor, you're placing them with your crosshair. Which, like, I don't know. I think it's neat. I think it functions. But given the number of people who, like, get weirdly adamant that, like, it is impossible to play PvP in Guild Wars with action cam, I guess that's an unusual take. You got your 2 bars of stamina for roll. Presumably at some point, I will either figure out or remember how to stealth. Oh yeah, they got shift on roll by default, so maybe I can fucking unbind the double tap. Gotta make sure not to click away from the incredibly high-stakes combat, though. Ooh. Wow, I killed 50 zombies. That's worthy of an achievement. These guys are just gonna raise here for a bit. All good. The recovery on the roll is so thoroughly crazy.
I fear the bridge is
Like,
in
what if
worse
I just
shape.
held jump after
You would
this?
do well to assist them.
Oh, well, it doesn't buffer.
Seek out
That's a help.
Sergeant Knox once you've crossed the bridge.
Oh yeah, the fucking loading screen tip reminded me that if you're flanking something, you actually get bonus damage, which is like their incredibly straightforward, like... Nah, positionals? That's not real. Just make sure there's a guy on the other side and you'll be fine. So if I just ignore the things that are happening around me and proceed forward? Is the game gonna let me do that? My life's awesome. This is great. Oh yeah, also audio mixing is my passion, I guess. Basically every piece of dialogue so far has been like a complete fucking mess. So this is definitely where I die, right? Surely there is no way you let me do what I just did. Endurance regen is way faster than I remember. Was I just a dumb kid who couldn't dodge anything at the time? Is that what's going on? Holy shit, the fucking skill effects are just breaking down completely. Entire things are just not rendering. This is great. I wonder if the servers were always this bad and I just didn't know at the time. It seems like it would have been difficult to miss, but also, like, when you're 17 and bad at everything, it's extremely straightforward to, like, not notice things. That is genuinely how long the fucking recovery is. Life is good. I wonder if this game even still has PvP. It wouldn't surprise me if they fucking removed it. No skip. Nice of them to denote that.
Kill.
That's a good noise. Hey, we got boss bars. Is this a real encounter? Oh no. Just the one AoE? It's okay, sweetheart. You don't need anything else. Now imagine if I was like Wizard or something where I had actual ranged filler. Life is good. This walk animation is definitely a certain type of way.
I believe I'm in your debt.
Yeah, sure thing, man. I do remember this home city. Layout and, like, overall... Oh! Wait, but how? This game is so old. This runs like shit for no reason? Let me actually turn the Steam FPS counter back on. We're getting a fat 37 in town. That is the same frame rate that my fucking MacBook Pro got when I played this game back then. It's both gratifying and a little sickening to know that, like,
Welcome to protect
My
his honor.
PC that literally caught fire on someone's kitchen counter was not and was never the problem.
You should
It's
be
just that the
Sergeant
game is
Knox
like this. What the fuck? Your name is not Einzelgaun. Okay, man, whatever. I'm just glad you're having a good time. You're in queue for something and I respect you for it. A single-player MMO before Xenoblade. I wonder how active, like, Group Finder and shit is in this game. I have my fucking top bar, finally. I don't remember how to, like, actually unlock my cursor to, like, click on stuff. There's some keybinds. Welcome to Neverwinter. Private PvP. No shit. Alright, so it's still a thing. No, it is actually an MMO. Which is like, it's weird for Neverwinter Nights to become an MMO. But like, maybe it's not that weird. Okay, powers. Class feature. Get my daily fucking... I really hope I'm not dumb and that I've, like, not had the ability... Okay, yeah, stealth at level 2. There you go. Yeah, it is quite genuinely shocking how badly this game is running on a PC that is this strong several years after release.
You've proven you can handle
But hey, I guess we just gotta keep pushing graphics.
Adventurers Guild.
Need a horse? Armored bear?
Good
We're
man.
already doing mounts, huh? Alright. I would like an horse, please, if possible. You're not gonna let me equip stuff while I'm here, are you? Okay. Nice to know that FF14 isn't the only MMO that, like, prevents you from, like, equipping stuff while you're interacting with the vendor. I remember that mounts aren't just mounts, but, like, as you collect more of them, they give you fucking stat bonuses to your whole fucking account. So that's really hot. The training room. Why did I fucking teleport to the astral plane?
Welcome to your own personal demi-plane. You look like the type.
Are you gonna
to
teach
get
me
out of
about
the way of
dodging?
an incoming strike, rather than risk a lethal flub. Dodging is your specialty, I bet.
Yay.
Can't hit you, but you can't lose. When you're dodging, you'll want to keep an eye on your stamina. Each time
Yeah, because
you
stamina
dodge,
was, like, what
you'll
governed,
lose
like,
stamina.
fucking,
Stamina
Guardian
will
Fighter's,
regenerate
like,
over time
actual
when you
blocking
aren't
mechanic.
dodging. So practice the timing and dodge
I recall
just before the
correctly.
enemy strikes.
Or was that on a different bar?
Fine work.
God, it's been so
You gain
long.
combat advantage when you have successfully flanked your foe. You achieve this by putting
Yeah.
your foe in between you and an ally.
Yeah.
You can manage this. Deal more damage with your
Boink.
strikes. Note the ring on the ground. Well done. Keep in mind that your foe has a rogue. Simple enough.
Alright, so they're gonna give me stealth now? Yup. Very cool.
Well done. Nice.
Now mounts. Oh, mounts have active skills now? What the fuck? Huh?
This adventuring thing really comes easily to you.
Alright, they're gonna give me my daily. So we're just gonna, like... Wow, the animation for that did not fucking work at all. There's supposed to be, like, a big blade fall type deal, but I guess it just decided not to. Unless they changed the animation to, like, look worse and not make any sense. But I think sometimes effects just don't fucking render in this game. I don't remember whether that was a thing,
Enclave.
or whether it's just like a completely new way the game has let me down.
The attack on the city was the last we'll see of Valindra.
Big fan of sound design, by the way. I forget if you can fucking mount up in town. Oh. It's still occasionally giving me notices about, like, patched X files, so... Yep. Now hold on, are they gonna let me into the shop yet? There's not a keybind for it, so I have to figure out how to actually, like, produce my cursor. Toggle cursor mode, left alt. There we go. Yeah, Zen for Astral
Do you have Astral
Diamonds.
Diamonds to trade?
I don't think they're gonna let me into the shop just yet, though. Zen Market, here we go. Mounts. Red Dragon Wings. Gaming. Huh. Those are lower movement speed numbers than I remember. Maybe they changed something about that. Hello, Chase. Appreciate that. So have you also had a run-in with this fucking thing? Who the fuck puts mounts on the 7 key? That's what I would like to know. Can we have an explanation of that? Surely there is a better option. Surely you can do literally anything the fuck else.
Kalambor, watch over. Thank you for coming. The number of
Every time I see my character's name in fucking dialogue, I sort of expect a, like, actual voice actor to say the word "Scare Robot" out loud. We have slipped very comfortably into skipping dialogue because I assure you, nothing happens in this game worth reading at basically any point. I was one of those fucking people in high school, so, like, you can bet I read everything and was deeply disappointed. So stealth is fucking based. Using encounter powers doesn't even necessarily break stealth. Some of them extend it, which is fucking hilarious. Hey, if you compare, like, basic attack damage to, like, encounter powers, this is a waiting for cooldowns-ass game in many ways. I remember one of the alternate Rogue at-wills gave you, like, some pretty substantial bleed buildup, but you had to basically completely give up ranged coverage for it, which made it, like, a bit of a prospect. Yeah, my mount lets me fucking shoot fire out of my hands or something. Life is good. While not mounted, by the way. But, like, it doesn't feel bad, right? Like, even though the animation system is, like, outrageously fucking janky. It's like the effects, when they are correctly displayed, don't actually look bad. And, like, the idea of stealth, like, negating combat advantage as a mechanic and letting you just swing from anywhere, that's, like, that's an interesting class feature. Let's fucking You have new items in your collection. Oh. Oh, there's just no way. 2 out of 1008 for the mounts collection. That had better be because these things have wildly different point values. Okay. There's still 12 sets. And that's, well, that's a way. Your free gifts. Well, I guess I can't take these while I'm in an instance. Where the fuck is my character panel? Oh my god. Okay, what the fuck am I buying that for, though? Reward claims agent. What the fuck are you talking about? Mom, I'm scared. No, really, where's my character panel? Please help. Oh, well, wanted to check on my abilities, but not fucking important. Well, let me... There we go. Radius increased by 10. And the power doesn't go on cooldown. Ooh, that's exciting. We're on that nuker shit now. Life is easy.
You dare disrupt the ritual?
You're doing great, man. Alright. So, was this encounter designed? Oh. Yeah, I guess that was just a guy, huh? Wow, yeah, look at the way the effects just are. Oh yeah, I guess I have fucking 2 daily powers now. You used to, like, have to unlock that pretty late, as I understand it. They've really got a fucking tool in my combat rotation mapped to the number 7. Who the fuck would ever?
Thank you. Not sure how much longer I would have been able to hold on. My companions were also taken by the plagues.
This is one of those, right? Where it's not really doing any specific visible thing correctly, but, like, combat's there. Thank God for that, right?
Kelemvor watch over knows, you say.
Oh, and I guess my initial levels are also, like, literally completely quest progress determined, because I
have received.
have not seen a single fucking point of experience. That's a lot of currencies. Hold on. Money, Zen, Glory, Guild Marks, Astral Diamonds, Rough Astral Diamonds, Refinement Points, Ardent Coin, Celestial Coin, Tarmaloon Trade Bars, Insignia Powder, Seals of the Adventurer, and other currencies, which I guess I will discover when I fucking get there. Oh, and I can get a VIP rank. 1 month of VIP? Sure, man. How much is 1,000 Zen? That's $10. Based. Make sure to obfuscate the wait. Hold on, I'm gonna have to fucking turn up the resolution scale. Oh no, that's field of view. Ooh. Ooh, that's good. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna crank that field of view, but also, like, can I do, like, interface scale? That is a suspicious amount of options. There's chat font scale, class mechanic, opacity, interface scale. Here we go. How about 1.5? Alright, that might be a little crowded. 1.35. Pick something really fucking arbitrary. 1.3. Alright. Double currency legacy campaigns. Login rewards Volcanic Vanquisher. But what was that first one on the rotating carousel that is permanently pinned to my UI? This shit looks like the Battle Pass! What in the fuck? Well, they got plenty of new ways to do this stuff, I guess. Unlock premium tasks. Wow. Okay, the field of view situation is very funny. Now this looks like an MMO, because you've given the player the freedom to, like, make it look like shit for no actual fucking reason. There's a good amount of skill lag as well. I wonder if I can, like, bring up any, like, network information or anything. Video card. Yeah, it's D3D11. We did something there. Hello there. Yeah, the connection between, like, action and response is bizarre, right? I genuinely do not remember skill lag being this pervasive. Like, sometimes it's hard to tell whether something even came out. I'm gonna have to rebind mount or I'm gonna McFucking lose it. Can I put that on mouse 4? That'll work. The fact that they have it in, like, a special different UI is pretty funny. Kids will play anything, man. Oh hey, and now I can use my, like, extremely awkward, like, ability that was duct taped onto my rotation from a fucking horse without needing to, like, remove my hand from my mouse. Yeah, I literally have no fucking clue whether Lashing Blade is even, like, activating when I hit it. Wow.
No, no, no. This location is even worse.
Guild Wars has kind of spoiled me in the mount department. Mounts having, like, unique movement abilities and, like, physics properties is, like, genuinely some of the hottest shit. I think this is supposed to be like a joke quest where I'm trying to find a fucking resting place for a lich and he gets so depressed with the real estate market that he just tells me to kill him instead. So that's hot.
Kellenbor's blade.
A necromancer raised up my father. Does a song
This is a completely different, like, first questing area than the version of the game that I played. It's like, we got this gloomy graveyard stuff going on. I remember, like, a fucking city actively under siege. There was, like, a sense of urgency. Why'd my foot fucking fall asleep? Okay, I must actually just be lagging out, right? Like, there's no way the game just feels the way that it does. Why? Why does my foot only ever fall asleep on stream? Like, what the fuck? I mean, you're seeing this. Hold on, I'm just gonna fucking... I'm opening command prompt. Ping T 1.1.1.1. Whoa, that's good. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave this down here, but it looks like my connection is unthinkably... This never happens. It's actually stable. Which means that at some point between me playing the game and now, they stepped this game down to like 1 tick rate servers. Which is just inherently funny. It's like, sorry, this super doesn't make enough money anymore for us to give a shit. But hey, we have the exciting fly text with like the damage type associated. That's like the same as gameplay, right? Neverwinter, I hardly know her. I need a laugh track button. That's the most straightforward path to being like a giant hack streamer, right? Aside from like whatever it is I am already doing. The willingness of MMO players to, like, completely disconnect themselves from, like, the image of their character for the sake of, like, gameplay visibility. I mean, you get the big thing where WoW was like, we're gonna limit the maximum zoom distance, and then everyone went, but how will I see the raid mechanics? And fucking had a gigantic shit fit for 40 days and 40 nights. Wait, what the fuck? When I stealth and use Blade Flurry, did all of my abilities go on cooldown for 99 seconds? They do. What the fuck? What is this, a fucking ROM hack? Hold on. We're gonna scale the interface up to phone game levels to make sure that everybody else can see that. I do not understand how that could happen. It counts down from like 99 to 85 and then everything comes back up. Is that meant to be like a time measurement thing? What the fuck? The way this game is built is already a complete fucking enigma to me. Also, I'm still totally double tapping to dodge. I just forgot about left shift almost immediately. The muscle memory runs too deep. Lore. Burning the dead. I see. That's an animation for sure. Yeah. Ain't that the song from Persona 3? I wouldn't know. I only play good RPGs. Literally just obviously a lie. Just no associated tension. in that joke whatsoever. Stop the dark ritual. So early combat really doesn't feel bad, apart from the fact where it's like the game servers are very obviously completely fucking falling apart constantly.
Thank you. I should go. Helmore calls me to
Which
my
is a really
rest.
bizarre failure mode.
Please, burn my body so it's of no use to the ninjas. Cold. It's so still.
This is fucking... I feel a little bit emptier than I expected opening this. A lot of it is because, like, this is just not the zone that I started the game in. What is the stealth kicker on that ability? Fucking... pulses twice as fast for half of the duration. Oh, okay, so it's just, like, not a damage up at all. Good to know. Boink. Enter the wizard's tomb. Honestly, the removal of the foundry kinda, like, broke me emotionally when I heard about it. As, like, one of the only distinct things this game did differently in a way that was, like, interesting. Why does that happen? I don't even know if that shows up on stream. There's like a one-frame flicker where the "you cannot mount here" text shows up in the center of the screen. And the way, like, the stream is sampling it, it's not always visible, but it happens every time on my display. Probably because, like, a frame rate mismatch.
We've got to hide. No. Yes. I don't know. I'm scared.
I'm like, I'm not here to fucking hunt and peck for, like, technical fuck-ups, because we've already kind of established that this is not your grandfather's plural spellcraft. Mm-hmm. Like, my aim is not to nitpick, but it genuinely just, it surprises me when I see these things and don't remember them happening in the game that I played, like, 10 years ago. It's confusing. Still recharging. Alright, fine. ROM hack bullshit, go. I don't remember this fucking pulsing move either. I don't seem to be gaining any experience, so, like, the best way to figure out what the other pieces of my combat toolkit are in the current version of the game is just to, like, continue following the Sparkle Trail. And the Sparkle Trail, like I said, it's, like, very nice. Oh yeah, I forgot. You can just, like, roll in a different direction after jumping. The Sparkle Trail is a nice feature for people who can't fucking navigate for shit, like me. That's very loud. But I can feel the flow state. Skeleton Slayer. Like, you're not really meant to be engaging with this in a way that requires more active brain power than, like, do the move that's really good in stealth from stealth. I don't know, is this riveting action combat? Is rolling out of the way of the red circle, like... Is this failable gameplay? Let's see if I can fucking execute something now that I actually have, like, daily charge.
It was a trap. The Thayans lured us into the rift.
I'm gonna continue turning this game down until the morale improves.
Wanted our blood to supercharge her rituals.
Because really, I just want to see Shocking Execution, like, land on something with its actual animation to see if that, like, produces the serotonin that I remember. I wonder if low-level PvP is alive at all. It was very easy to get low-level PvP games when I was playing, and I spent an obnoxious amount of time doing that instead of leveling my character. Kind of exactly the same as Illsword. Because I can't resist PvP games with unbelievable amounts of, like, lateral divergent slop, where people are just playing with completely different toolkits on, like, a level far greater than any fighting game.
Cannonball, Watcho. This blasphemy cannot... Well done.
Cool. So I have, like, some fucking... Oh yeah, buy VIP ranks. Gear preview. Oh yeah, because I care so much about the cosmetics at the moment. Where the fuck is my character panel? VIP players get daily rewards and useful benefits. Dang. Ability to open the world travel window from anywhere. That's a compelling one to sit at rank 1. What? Ooh. Adds 1% maximum hit points to every member of your group. Immunity to injuries. No auction house posting fees. Woo-hoo. Global bank access, that's the one.
For years.
Alright, so I put on a bunch of new gear. Let's see if the character building feels impactful. Hey, real new player. How's this game doing on Steam charts? I know it has, like, its standalone launcher. Every time I play a game in QWERTY, I type, like, half of one word in Colmac, and it comes out like I'm having a fucking heart attack. 611 playing 11 minutes ago, 1031 24-hour peak. Huh? That's, like, modestly healthy. That's 3 times the player base as Steam EverQuest. Ooh, can we see that one again, please? Exquisite. Just fucking beautiful. Nah, Steam EverQuest is real.
I'm glad you are to be my guardian.
EverQuest is fucking crazy, dude. I'm talking about skill lag on this shit, but EverQuest was like literally every single time anyone in my group moved, they teleported. Actually, it would have been better if they teleported, but they like walked in the wrong direction and then teleported.
Follow me.
Yeah, I'm not about, like, the graveyard theme to start. Gotta admit. Alright, let's hit Shocking Execute. Oh. Yeah, that animation just doesn't, like, make sense or work from stealth now, I guess, so maybe I should try it while I'm visible.
Oh, it wasn't enough. You have to find the source of the evil.
Because that was the button! That was the button that, like, did so much work for me in PvP that they had to fucking nerf it and inadvertently, like, ruined the game until I quit. By doing it.
Starting the ritual. Here they come.
I should probably fucking, put that pulsing AoE on before I stealth or something, huh? That's strategy. That's real tactical engagement. I certainly do not feel like anything about my, like, character's level of power changed. Because I put on the new gear at the same time as going into a new zone. I guess they all just died. That's cool.
I'm starting the ritual. Here they come.
Maybe I should have just installed Diablo Immortal. What? That's not where that ability was supposed to go. I don't really know what the fuck it was targeting.
It's the tree. We have to do the final ritual.
That little screen twitch when fucking Cloud of Steel, there we go. When Cloud of Steel connects.
Are you ready? I'm starting the ritual now.
Oh, okay. So that was combat. Big fan of combat in my MMOs, personally. I do greatly enjoy a little bit of combat in my free time.
Kalimdor be praised. We did it. Let's hurry back.
Did my crosshair get bigger when I turned up the UI scale? That's making me really happy, actually. We got the fucking Balarante crosshair. Gotta check on something. So the message that I just checked on is informing us that our tap water has, like, potentially unsafe levels of cleaning solutions in it. So that's cool. Just gonna stare skeptically at this for a bit. Question mark, exclamation point. Reminds me of the time where people play on stretched resolutions to get a bigger crosshair. Can I... Let's turn that resolution scale all the way down. Okay, it doesn't look that different on stream, honestly, but to me it just looks like I fucking smudged my glasses. I wonder if it's the TXAA that's, like, killing the performance. Nope. Why does this game perform so fucking poorly? Preset. Use sliders. Wait, what is this? What is this for? On all low, I feel like I barely got a fucking performance improvement. Oh wait, no, it's hitting my cap, that's fine. The thing about mounts in combat is that if you take, like, 3 hits, and it really is just a 3-hit counter, not like a damage threshold or anything like that, you immediately fucking perish. You, like, get knocked down. Alright, let's do this outside of stealth to see what the animation looks like when it's working. They just broke it. That's just wrong. That's deeply confusing. Let's see. I clicked on a PvP montage, can you tell? Alright, fucking display capture isn't gonna work, but I need to figure out whether this actually even has, like, footage of this this button being used. Yeah, that's good. That'll work for now, I guess. Or we're using a fucking... I saw your daily go off. Alright, let's see it. Hit that button. Hit that button right now. Yeah, that's like, even in stealth, that made so much more sense. And it's like, of course it reads like shit to the rest of you, because, like, it's just MMO PvP, and it looks like slop. And nothing makes any sense. But, like, your camera stays on your target and keeps a consistent orientation, and you go up, and you come down, and the blade animation fucking kicks in. I don't get why it's different now. It's different, and that scares me. It's uncomfortable. I need things to remain the same. Just a little flicker, as a treat. Lashing Blade sure does do the thing. This is an unusual amount of time for an RPG to run without, like, actually giving you a single choice in character building, right? Like, I don't really expect, like, point buy or a non-resettable skill tree or something like that. But, like, a fourth combat ability, so I can pick 3 out of 4, perhaps. Because I feel like the opening got slower. And that feels really uncommon, too. Like, normally with long-running MMOs like this, you see, like, the opening tending closer and closer towards, like, completely unhinged brain rot. Where it's like, we have to compete with all these other games that feed the player tons of rewards. Alright, one more time for Shocking Execution. Yeah, that's just, like, wrong. Is this the same fucking... Okay. Because it's a different fucking ability. I have 2 daily powers, and neither of them are the thing that... Is Shocking Execution still in the game? Where the fuck do I go to see my fucking... powers? Here we go. Courage Breaker. When I choose a Paragon path at level 11... Okay. They have moved this so far down the line for reasons that I don't adequately understand. Because that's a new ability. And the animation is, like, nonsense. Whoa, Mist Bridge. Very exciting. Yeah, because right now I'm just confused. I'm, like, genuinely wondering whether this is, like... whether I remember things being better because they were better or because my standards were lower at the time. Probably the truth is somewhere in the middle. This opening really does just feel like a fucking, like, third-rate Diablo game, though. Is it time for me to boot up Diablo 4 again and see if, like, that game makes any sense to me now? Because I did the campaign around when it came out, and it was, like, solidly alright, if a little buggy. And then I got to the end game, and I had a feeling that I have never felt before, which is difficult to put into words. It's like the feeling of sitting down in your fucking leisure time and realizing that you are just, like, taking a really useless part-time job. Yeah, man, I don't know about this. I'm like... we're 80 minutes in and I'm just, like, frowning at my screen. Why did this happen? That's not... You've played for 20 hours. And that was, like, after I fucking reinstalled it on Steam, because I played it on the, like, the standalone launcher for the longest time. Why did this happen to me? Today was supposed to be a fun stream. Well, that's a really straightforward way to reclaim some disk space, I guess, but, like... holy, dude. I don't even know what to do at this point, I'm just sad. Even the year of liking things wouldn't save it. It's... I feel empty. It's complex. Because what I wanted was either, like... give me, like, a day to a week-long romp of, like, the honeymoon of an exploitative MMO that hasn't turned the exploitation on. Or, like... I wanted to be able to marvel at something that was, like, the twilight years of one of these games that has just become, like, very openly exploitative and exists only to serve its existing user base until it dies. But what I got instead was just, like, a profoundly uninteresting opening. When I, like, remembered an opening that was at least somewhat interesting. Like, very notably cut from the first hour of the game is the part where you actually walk around the fucking town. And, like, get casually introduced to things like the little tavern they put on a fucking side road that was explicitly marked as a role-player hub. Which was, like, fucking poppin' at the time. Like, literally there were, like, 20 or 30 people in there taking it seriously every single time that I walked into People Watch. And that's gone now, and the first area of the game that I remember is gone, and the fucking combat tutorial is gone. And the actual core combat itself feels like it is missing something in a way that is like... where did Shocking Execution go, guys? I don't understand. Well, I already turned my lights on, so I feel like I should leave OBS open. But, like... What happens now, right? Well, PSO2 is re-downloading because I wanted to figure out whether the fucking thing that makes me unable to connect to the servers that started a couple days ago is a problem specifically with my Steam Deck or with, like, the way the game is being run currently. Playing Dead Inside MMOs, it's... I thought I was going to play the MMO, but I actually fucking played myself. I can't believe this happened. Whew. No, I just fucking closed it because it, like, made me sad and dead inside. I've had that experience a couple times recently, like, actively attempting to play outside my comfort zone to make sure that, like, I'm taking an inspiration from a lot of different places when I decide the direction to go with, like, Freyni's current project. But, like... Like, I played a game that fucking Az picked up for me for $1, like, a year ago called Seraph's Last Stand, which is very, like... It sells itself on the Steam store page as being like, oh, this is inspired by the Flash game series Heli Attack, which is like Miniclip Brothers Rise Up. We all fucking remember that shit. Except, like, it's fucking Vampire Survivors slop that is very transparently, like, possessed of absolutely zero actual shooting mechanics and exists as a very thin veneer of interactivity over a meta progression system that makes me want to kill myself. And then I played it for 5.5 hours, wondering whether I was wrong for dismissing it on that basis, and I wasn't. So that experience periodically appears in my life. Just like, oh, I'm not meant to be doing this, am I? Well, like, there's always a very straightforward thing I can do when I feel like fucking running my mouth on stream, but have absolutely nothing useful to, like, offer anyone in my vicinity with regards to, like, the type of content that I'm engaging with. Yeah, you know what that sound means. Ever played La Mulana? Unfortunately, I had shit tons of La Mulana spoiled for me by myself. Because I was, like, pretty soundly convinced that it wasn't my kind of game. And I think I might have been, like, slightly wrong about that. But figured it out by way of spoiling it for myself. Oops. Me checking in on Mabel every 7 years just to make sure. What other MMOs do I need to, like, check in on to make sure I know what's going on? I mean, there's like, that one, obviously. There's the one that we know about. But, like, we know how that's going, right? That's a straightforward idea. Item Mall. Quirky and cute costumes. April Fool's Maid and Butler. Is this... Wait a minute. Is this, like, Rebel Coat plus Bunny Suit? I have some opinions about this design, I guess. IMVU. How do you suppose Gaia Online is doing? Wait, who the fuck is this? They got characters in this game that I just didn't know about. Who the fuck is Lithia? And why do they keep letting the foot guy design new fourth paths? Baffling behavior. I don't really care about the rewards in that stage, so I guess I'll just, like, play a ranked match. Actually, I wanted to do something, which is, like, This is an experiment for you guys, not for me. I'm gonna turn commentary off. It's kind of for me, because I have commentary off when I play on the Steam Deck, and it feels like a little strange, but also like notably more relaxed while still not being fucking boring to me. Which is cool. What the fuck do you suppose Elsword is up to? 15% off keys. I'm still on the Neverwinter news page. That's a lot of lightning. What the fuck is going on with the ranked mode now that I hit like 10 Dan? That's very confusing. This is like gambling background radiation to my nascent thoughts on like online spaces. I fucking punched my microphone. I've been thinking a lot about Tilegun recently since I actually went back to update it, and like... The thing about Tilegun is that it's really frustrating to debug because like the VRChat SDK provides very little help for like when users are experiencing problems in a world. And Udon is just like a complete fucking mess in a very like open and obvious way. It's a networking framework that makes no guarantees about whether your messages will ever be delivered. And so when I think about doing technical work on Tilegun, the assessment is like, am I confident about the state the world is in with regards to like how playable it is, how confident I am that I can touch it without breaking something that is difficult to diagnose, all that, right? And then separately from that, there is like, how comfortable am I with investing my time into like VRChat as a development ecosystem right now, considering they fired the guy who was apparently working on Udon 2 and haven't announced anything about it since. And in general, everybody in like metaverse spaces seems to be very emotionally invested in like shitting their pants in public and then insisting to everyone in earshot that shitting your pants is the future of digital commerce. Thank you, Penguin. It's strange stuff. And so as somebody who has been fucking sitting around thinking about like, hey, this game I enjoy greatly kind of lacks a client that does everything that I want it to do. Like, I think Tilegun's cool. Tilegun is a deeply neat virtual hangout space, and I do kind of want to give it one or two last updates in terms of like, I can definitely see how things like the Kotatsus are not necessarily always comfortable for like seated VR players without a play space dragger, for instance. And so there's something to be said for like, okay, maybe like a host level option to turn everything into tables instead of the Kotatsus, so that you can easily play standing up. But then I think about like fucking height variance and needing to provide like risers for players, and I go, ugh. Because the other thing about working on Tilegun as opposed to like working on a standalone fucking thing is that like working inside of somebody else's platform obviously suggests like a very particular way of approaching the problem. Like the restrictions of the platform obviously inform like the way you're allowed to proceed in a very straightforward way, and like the existing UI conventions and like user expectations of VRChat are obviously like, I don't get to like make wild interface decisions or like have a persistent progression or rating system. The technical characteristics are too, like, unforgiving and stupid for me to do things like elaborate animation work or, like, complex assist features, training tools. Oof. If you make it per user, then people are just under the table, and that's bad for user interaction in a VR game. Exactly, so it would have to be a host-level option. Like, it would be you walk in and you hit a switch on the wall and all the Kotatsus turn into tables, and that would be the way it is. There's the weight pivot that I was waiting for. I don't think I ever, like, walk out on this while everyone's hands are still closed. I'm tired of folding to ghosts, so I'm just gonna, like, auto-discard and believe. Oh, but the fucking red 5-mon is... Wait, that would be fucking... What I'm trying to look out for is not, like, hitting auto-discard when there are upgrades that can, like, yeah, fucking red 5 so would do it. Because if I miss something like Dora Acceptance for no reason, because I just didn't want to be fucked to, like, click the discard button myself, that sucks. But yeah, like I'm saying, there's... Yay. There's a lot that you can fucking just immediately rule out when you're working on somebody else's platform, and there are directions that become very obvious to go. When you're just doing your own software, like... I have genuinely been, like, obsessively clicking on other fucking Mahjong games for, like, a week now. Trying to figure out what it is that does it for me. What specifically gets me excited. Like, of the infinity gorillion possibilities before me, what is something that I actually want to focus on? Because, like, implementing a networked board game is a pretty obvious, like, candidate for a project that is narrow in scope and obviously achievable if you, like, have a feature set from the get-go. And so I'm kind of actually trying to be a designer again and remembering how that shit works. I don't know that this calls, but... I kind of just wanted to hit the button. Maybe this isn't the way you behave in ranked, but I managed to slide that 1, 2, 3, so it's all good. No, surely this 2-3 mon shape won't fucking ruin my day. Because I could still pick up upgrades. 5, 6. People being under the table is like having to bend software design to the metaphor of a visual space, of a virtual space, a physical space, is complex. I like the VR chat meetups. Good night, Kursov. I like the VR chat meetups quite a fucking lot, honestly. But there are some extremely fucking annoying things about, like, the way interacting with VR works has to work in order to make, like, any sense. And it comes with some advantages as well, like, obviously when it comes to fucking interacting with people on the internet, I prefer, like, proximity voice chat with, like, spatialization to, like, a Discord voice call. All other things being equal, because it helps me, like, separate voices from one another and reduces my, like, mic fatigue. But that's, like, all other things being equal is a massive fucking hand wave there, because when I say, like, oh, it reduces my VC fatigue, I also have to take into account that I have a television strapped to my face, and that incurs, like, a different kind of fatigue entirely. Alright, Dealer Mongon. Hot. Still barely leading. I do feel like I find it easier to talk when the commentary isn't running. But that comes with its own shit, you know? When next Zhong VR meetup? I'd like to do another one soon, but my space is kind of frustrating for VR at the moment, so I don't get super, super excited about it. Like, the climate control situation isn't great, and I don't really have, like, comfortable seating for that type of experience. This is probably, like, not a particularly good call, but I think East 3, with, like, my closest viable competitor in the dealer seat, I think there is some logic to trying to speed up my hand aggressively, rather than playing for, like, a particular amount of value. I've been trying to get some together for the past few months to mixed results. Yeah, I have been seeing those pings. And obviously, like, my experience getting together, like, groups of people to do social things seems, like, weirdly non-representative. Where, like, my experience for stuff like SRB2 Kart was, like, even before I was a name in, like, the kart community and then later started working on Ring Racers, it was fairly straightforward for me to just, like, walk onto a server and be like, hey, someone should come play on this server, and then a bunch of people came and played on that server. Wow, just threw into it, huh? No fear? Well, I'll never know what their hand situation was, so maybe it made perfect sense from their perspective. But that's frustrating for me because it means they just fed my fucking closest competitor 12,000 points. Bleh. There is, like, a cross-section of, like, meaningful self-actualization and, like, a social space that facilitates comfortable, positive communication in larger groups. Whoa, 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 stop that. I did not crash, I just fucking left. No, the early game was, like, it was neither bombastically bad in a way that fulfilled my narrative of the thing I liked got worse in a predictable way, but it was also not, like, enjoyable. It was very much just there. God, if I can waffle this long about, like, the first hour of a fucking long-running zombie MMO about Dungeons and Dragons, you guys probably, like, don't want to hear me try to talk about my experience with ZZZ. I might fucking explode. I have had so many weird thoughts rattling around in my brain about my experience with Zenless Zone Zero that, like, it tempts me to, like, literally reapproach the way that I write on my fucking blog and just start doing completely unstructured nonsense. It is. Oh wow, I actually blacked out the bingo card. The Advent Calendar write-up for this year was always doomed because, like, literally as I stepped into the Advent Calendar, I was like, okay, fucking Kart Crew, I am going to disappear and go completely dark for a month because I cannot simultaneously work on Ring Racers and do the Advent Calendar. I will fucking kill myself. And everyone was like, you're good, do what you need to do. And this was, like, kind of in the same area as, like, there were talks of releasing, like, November of that year until pretty close to, like, the start of the Advent Calendar, so I was pretty stressed at that time. And then, like, the moment the Advent Calendar was done, like, literally day of, it was back to Ring Racers dev. There was no fucking hope for me at any point. Wonder if you can still play the original AOL era Neverwinter Nights. I wonder, yeah. That call didn't actually go up in Shanten because this was like a fucking nightmare pair hand. I mean, pawn is faster than Chi, right? All I need to do is actually win a hand, so I think calling Yakuhai here makes perfect sense. It's just that I didn't really, like, conceptualize how the hand looked at the time. Advent calendar write-ups are like the best games criticism we've seen, by the way. I don't think all of them are. I definitely think there's been a tonal shift along the way, and I'm a lot more comfortable with, like, the way I write them now than the way I wrote them then, because I've had some time to, like, reflect on what I am trying to get out of that type of event. But I am pretty happy with the way a lot of that stuff turns out. And, like, I don't know, as experiments in comedy writing, they are... I don't know what the fuck I do, guys. Like, for real. I'm just, like, a person, and occasionally I, like, person visibly in an online space, and that, like, forms the basis of an identity that could be confused for capital C content creator, but is not actually that thing, I feel. Why did you default to two things that aren't the title of the game when talking about ring racers? For that matter, I don't know why DRRR became, like, an acronym that anyone was trying to use. That's a pretty spectacular win rate for this game. That's fun. So many annoying YouTubers talk about a fighting game and don't even bother to mention the frame data. You need some level of understanding of, like, what governs the risk-reward push-and-pull choices made in a fighting game to, like, assess whether it is worth your time at all. Holy shit, what the fuck is this? Huh? Oh, yeah, because we're just on a point system now. This is, like, I think at this point the ratings are on, like, a zero-sum point system. And this is the way that's being conveyed to me. This is very fascinating. So this is a lot of rainbow, by the way. Because I think it's just more fun when you understand games. That's my primary motivation for getting better at most things, is that, like, when you attain a high degree of proficiency and understanding, usually what results is that, it becomes more fun to engage with it, not less. It's only, like, horribly designed slop that gets less fun when you understand it. And, like, the ability to recognize when that's happening and say, okay, I got all I could out of battle monsters, and just fucking walk away from it. That's cool, right? That's, like, an interesting thing to be able to do. E3R comes my personal belief that DRR can be shortened. It's just RR. It is just Ring Racers. In the cases that people bother to abbreviate, like Dr. Robotnik's Mean Beam Machine, I never see 5 letters, I always see 3. It's also really funny when everything seems good and the one thing that ruins the game hits. The one thing that ruins the game is a really complex and interesting, like, failure mode to me. Because the reaction I get from a lot of people when I talk about that sort of thing is, like, we take something like Nier Automata, like, unlimited menu healing. And this is, like, a single-player game, so obviously, like, this reaction makes a little bit more sense, I think, but it feels analogous to me. I get the same confused reaction in my brain when people do this to me. I'll say, like, okay, Nier Automata's fucking risk-reward balance, its push and pull, is, like, completely fucking broken because of unlimited menu healing, which means that the only way the game can ever kill you is if you crank up the difficulty high enough that it will one-shot you. And I explain this, and people go, well, how about you just don't use the menu healing? And I go, like, I mean, yeah, I guess, but, like, what then, right? Like, what happens after that? I decide not to use the menu healing. Well, how does the health system work now? Do I have to decide what's fair for everything? Because obviously, like, the game was designed with, like, the idea that the menu healing is in place. So how many other decisions now no longer make sense? Like, as soon as I accept that I'm fucking cultivating a rule set of the game, like, I am pruning the hedges to create a game inside of the limits of the game that matches more intuitively with what I want out of the experience, I'm now on the hook for every design decision. Like, all of them. Whenever I encounter friction or problems or any sort of, like, negative emotion or stoppage in play or break in flow, I get to go and, like, be, okay, does that no longer belong in the game either? And that's a level of responsibility that makes me want to fucking close the game and pick up something else. That's fucking confusing. These are lovely ladies this time around. These are just different artists. Sometimes all you need is a nice big burger. I could use a fucking burger right now, dude. Life is crazy. Not even like a good burger, either. We're talking like the mental state that I'm in is like... We're not quite to the Burger King level, but like... We're one or two steps above it. We're at, like, the Sonic level, appropriately enough. I fucking hate that guy. Where it's like, I want an extremely mediocre meat-based sandwich and, like, a cup of frozen sugar. That's what I'm looking for. Sometimes the obscure fighter be so fine and then boom, not enough throw-in blown on wake up. Yeah, and it's like... Is there a fucking game in Best of Best if you just don't do wake-up throw loops to people? Probably. But, like, at that point, fucking... Why not play anything else? That's a genuine question. Why not? I'm curious. Please explain it to me. Because Best of Best gains a curious competitive edge in that circumstance. Oh, is it that I'm only eligible to get fucking soul orbs or whatever the fuck from players who are also above 10 Dan? Interesting. Because that's the commonality. In the last game, everybody had high rank and everybody was connected by lightning in the pre-round. But this time, these two are low rank, and this... Very cool. I don't know why my audio has suddenly decided to start doing that, but that's pretty fun. Yeah, it's... You're not losing me. I'm losing the audio, and you guys are hearing it accurately. That is genuinely just happening to me. Which is very cool. So now I get to decide whether I, like, try to fold to shadows versus, like... whatever this is. This is, like, very easily Tanyadora 3. So I don't think I fold without a damn good reason. But if this guy starts throwing crazy fire... Like, I don't know, it is a dealer hand. Maybe I should have cut this while it's, like, most dangerous. Because I got my shapes, right? But on the other hand, I would love to upgrade that, like, 2-3. Like, that's fine. Suspicious. Okay. So I guess I just cut one of my pairs and do it like this. Because it looks like this handle can proceed closed. Considering these are, like, gonna be difficult to pick up at this point. 3 pairs? I mean, I would love to keep the red 5, but at this point I just want to complete the hand. SMT Mahjong win. I fucking wonder when we're gonna get, like, an SMT Imagine private server that, like, doesn't look super obviously fucking rootkit level sketchy. Because I remember playing that game for a very small amount of time and, like, dropping it pretty quickly, but I think the person that I am now might, like, get more out of it long term. I just called a Tenpai for this. Oh wait, no, this is... Oh shit, I'm an idiot. I thought that was 678 for absolutely no reason. So now I feel like I should definitely fold, but I don't really have a ton to actually fold with. That's like, I only need to pass 2 tiles anyway, so... Probably things are okay. That's like no chance unless orphans, and then this is truly safe. Yeah, without the commentary, I imagine that people who do not play Mahjong are a little bit more, like, adrift at the moment. I wonder if I could lower the commentary volume to 0, but then use subtitles, huh? Yeah, this is fine, I guess. Here I was thinking they had thrown out the English announcer voices. I don't know if commentary is a feature that they update at all, so, like, it would surprise me if that was the case. So we'll just call Titania Dora 2 here and just, like, let it rock, I guess. Less engaging for me as a viewer, and I can't second screen it as easily. Yeah, that's about what I expected. My brain personally is a little bit clearer without the commentary, but probably not by, like, a lot. I think I'm gonna leave commentary off when I'm playing on deck, because usually when I'm playing on deck, I'm just like... I'm very focus mode, just chilling on the couch. I don't know if I necessarily abandon this. Considering this is, like, viable and potentially, like, has good outs in the future. Like, these are nice shapes. I like these shapes a little bit too much. And I push 3. Sure. Because this has, like, decent odds of sneaking under the Ricci. As links me to somebody doing fucking live 2D commissions in a very cute, goofy style. And I wonder about that every once in a while. But, like... I kind of believe in facial accountability. I believe if you say some stupid shit, everybody should watch your physical lips moving when you say it. And then that should be, like, associated with your face. Want to print out a poster of you? This motherfucker said this stupid shit. Ooh. This is 4 pairs. Yeah, I've definitely been in a bit of a funk recently. I'm starting to like emotionally gear up for a little bit more work on Ring Racers, because I have been playing very little of it out of like frustration over a couple really common play patterns that happen in like large lobbies. And like generally the prevalence of large lobbies and how I don't think the game is like... I think the game is a lot less fun above 8. And because that's the dominant way that it's played, I just kind of get to seethe alone while other people enjoy my game more than I do. Hopefully. This is like an objectively bad idea, but I believe in it a little bit. The chaos is funny, that's the best part. You're just not correct. Like, I'm glad you find enjoyment there, but nah. So obviously everybody's getting back on their feet after, like, rough launch and a long break. Kinda like assembling the spoons to give a fuck about this thing again. Because, like, I won't fucking mince words. Fucking launch was hard. That was just, like, kind of, by its nature, emotionally challenging. And obviously, because circumstances are cruel, there was never any version of that where it didn't happen immediately after everyone was, like, severely emotionally fucked from having finished the final work sprints. That's just the way it is. I'm like, naturally I'm a fucking weirdo. I think, like, the hardest part of the lead up to release was not the work, but the times where I wasn't able to work, where, like, all of the relevant areas of the game were frozen for very good reason. And I was just, like, sitting on my hands waiting for preparation to finish. That was tough. And so coming off of that, straight into, like, a rough launch into, like, one last final sprint of fucking putting out fires post-release, including a couple of changes that I, like, honestly, having had some time to, like, get some space from it, I regret that they felt necessary. Like, we will have time to do more work on bots in the future, potentially. But I feel like the several layers of nerfs that they received, in the end, I'm kind of unhappy with how the difficulty level came out. And most people seem to be a lot happier with it. And that's, like, ultimately the single player is a part of the game that, like, I have very much, like, I have played more than my fair share of single player overwhelmingly. So it's not super important that the single player be, like, tuned well for me, if that makes sense. But there is, like, some lingering regret. There were portions of the game that, like, very blatantly needed to get harder, but that we were never going to, like, get to make harder after having already launched in the state that we did. Like, most of the people complaining about the difficulty of special stages just needed to never see a special stage. The ranking criteria just didn't work well enough at keeping them out. Because you were not meant to be bothered about that part of the game until you got way better than, like, a lot of people were when they saw them. And ultimately what we arrived at in the end was, like, I think it works very objectively better for a lot of people. They experience fewer breaks in play, fewer like harsh negative emotions that rasp against the process of improvement. But I do feel like we went too hard in a couple areas, and so maintaining the motivation to continue work on something where I feel like we kind of fucking went the wrong direction by virtue of going too far carries some emotional complexities with it. I don't know whether you're supposed to be this open about this sort of thing, but I'm talking to people who, like, follow and are adjacent to me, primarily, not people who, like, are adjacent to ring racers. So I get to do what I want, like taking this hell weight on a fucking 1-pin, and just believing that it'll drop. Yeah, I've played very little ring racers since 2.3. And I would like to correct that, and correcting that involves, like, fixing aspects of the game that I personally find frustrating. Oh. Well, that's fine. Still leading. Just gotta bring it home. That's a very unfocused series of thoughts about the game that basically, like, consumed well over a year and a half of my life. Because the thoughts themselves are, like, pretty fucking complex, I would say. And so coming down from that and feeling the pull to, like, return to it and, like, polish off a few rough edges that make it, like... As a designer, they jump out at me. They frustrate me very disproportionately compared to, like, the actual incumbent player base of the game. Where it's like, I can simultaneously be like, it is very clear to me why people are enjoying this, while also, like, being incredibly distracted by my own ambitions every time I open the game. And then, like, feeling that pull, and trying to, like, be honest and assess where it comes from, while simultaneously feeling the pull towards other projects, or, like, personal relationships that I feel are, like, that suffered while I was under a lot of pressure. Auto roulette stuff. Honestly, I don't think I get to do this, because we launched with it, and it sends, like, a very strange message if I do what I want to do with it, but I want auto roulette gone. It was a feature intended to solve a specific problem for a specific person on dev, and they don't even use it, because it turns out that the problem they were having is not the problem they thought they were having. And I am just fucking... Not only am I incredibly sore with, like, the discourse about, like, the way the language of accessibility is used to, like, push really weird demands in the direction of teams of all kinds. I'm surprised that came out. That was a one-chance wait. But in general, I just don't think, like, giving up on manual item selection is healthy for the game. I think auto ring is kind of cool. Ashnell rigged that up very, very fast in terms of, like, Lua prototyping, and then, like, we all kind of worked together on getting it into hardcode in some sensible way. And in terms of, like, your stoned friends are rolling up to Gear 1 at the fucking party, I think it does a lot in terms of, like, softening the upfront curve. But it's like, yeah. Probably it's good for most players to eventually grow out of this, but for those that don't, like, probably the game is fucking fine, you know? GZ Doom analytics thing and opt-in analytics thing where you can learn who's using what abilities. I mean, I don't want to make the choice on that basis, though. Even if 80% of the player base used auto-roulette, my opinions on wanting to remove it would not change. And maybe I'd want to, like, do something to, like, soften the manual roulette, sure, but... the feeling is not usage-based, the feeling is, like, this is an inelegance that exists in the game design that, like, causes problems. If that makes sense. And it's complex to, like, separate the, like... You know, how do I separate my experience of the game from, like, my experience of playing the game from with other people? But I'm pretty comfortable saying at this point that I am basically only interested in making changes to Ring Racers that make it better for me personally. Because, like, why would I ever do anything else? And maybe that's like... Maybe that comes across as a bullheaded approach. But that's kind of the only path for me, really, in terms of, like, motivation to work on this thing that, like, ate my life for so long. Transitioning back from, I'm glad this is done and I can move on, to, oh fuck, my perfectionism won't let it go, is, it feels damning. It feels like getting dragged by the fucking leg into a riptide. And I want to make it clear in case anybody, like, fucking... I'm always worried about the stuff getting taken out of context or, like, misrepresented in a way that, like, reflects badly on the rest of the team. I speak for myself when I say this shit, and I am... When I talk about the stuff, I wear the developer hat very loosely. This is me talking about my personal desires, which then interact with, like, the needs of the game and the desires of the rest of the team in a way that is not going to be, like, particularly transparent or coherent to people who are outside of the development process. So I might go, I want to remove auto-roulette, this fucking blows, and then we, like, next patch introduce 4, like, improvements to auto-roulette or something. That just might be the way that it goes, you know? I'm a little bit more confident in cutting 2-3 as I work towards Tenpai with that 1-4. But I can't call, obviously. Do I pursue this?
No.
Yeah. Not a stellar choice, I would say. I don't think I had a lot of safety options, so I don't think it made, like, outright... It wasn't nonsense, I think, but... Nah. Yeah, the MMO was just, like, disappointing, unfortunately. Neverwinter, it was, like, it didn't fulfill either of my neat personal narratives of, like, let's revisit this trash that I used to enjoy, or, like, let's gawk at how the thing that I used to enjoy has turned into a fucking exploitative hellhole. Not that I'm not sure it's not an exploitative hellhole, but like, it's a little bit too guarded about it at the start and just has like kind of an uninterestingly paced intro in like an area that's worse than the starting area. I remember. Video games are fucking weird, man. When I say I've been in a funk recently, I mean like it's been a far-reaching type of mood. And then like, I'll say that, and then know like, somewhere deep down, even if it's frustrating to acknowledge it, that a lot of it is probably just that I haven't been sleeping super well. Human neurochemistry is fucking horseshit, man. I gotta get out of here. 4, 5, 6, 7. It's better to take the stretch then. I think this is fine. The acceptance on that Ishanten wasn't great, but I'll take it. Very lucky. I've got fucking Aura Kingdom downloaded, and I'm not gonna play that here, because I'm saving that for, like, a group session. You're talking about, like, Soul Calibur and how, like, Soul Calibur has a lot of weapon styles that you don't see in a lot of games. And Chrome was like, I want an MMO where you have a nunchuck class, and I did a little searching, and I'm like, you're not gonna like the answer that I produce. I don't even know if Dragon Nunchaku has nunchucks, or whether it's just a fucking weird name. Yay. Richisumu Pin Fudora 1? Sure is. We're back in the game. We're gaming. MMOsoge advent calendar. MMOs are too slow burn. The fantasy of most fighting games is that you pick them up and you have access to like absolutely everything that the game has to offer the moment you hit versus mode. Ooh, Devil Dora East, that's scary. You waited a suspicious amount of time to evaluate that. Do you have those Easts? Be honest. I won't tell. I still say the best thing about the fucking Ring Racers situation has just been occasionally clicking on the soundtrack uploads and going, yeah. This particular aspect of the game is one with absolutely no controversy. People just like this specific thing that I did. And that's a nice hit. Whoa. Okay, no Dora. Just kidding. Wow, one of those is in the dead wall. Say the line! Oh wow, that's a fun hi-fi. So, with a deficit of, like, 16k points, ostensibly if I'm playing to win, I should play for score here. But I feel a little bit more like I want to skip this guy's dealer turn as, like, judiciously as possible. And then just, like, lock in a comfortable second. Because that's something I have a very good chance of doing with a starting hand like this. Versus, like, turning this into high value without a lot of access to, like, value. is obviously going to be a slower and more failure-prone process. Like, it's an honor Dora. So that aspect of things is just not gonna work out. This might even turn into a fucking pair of dragons with the final shapes that I have here. Way more likely that I draw 3/6 Mon or 2/5 So. Yeah. And so, taking the 2/5 way better here. And it's like, this is kind of garbage, but it's fast. And that's the right person to hit for sure, even if the hand isn't worth much. Just skips an annoying dealer turn and we move on. I feel like my luck has been spectacular tonight, honestly. Like, just a really fucking high hand completion rate. It's easy to feel that and be like, oh, I'm making such good decisions tonight. This is how the game should always be. And then, like, when it's not that, you get frustrated. That's good. Big fucking fan of that. I really hope that's a software problem and not, like, my interface actually, like, shitting itself and dying. Very exciting. Yeah, that's the actual sound on my PC cutting. And I wonder what that's all about. Great dance, very mahjong fight girl. It's true. I won't lie to you. Most of the designs and most of the aesthetics in that game fucking suck. But like, that specific dance hits. That's great. I love her. I hope she's doing well. It makes me wonder, like, as a team of two people who kind of don't know how to do fucking art that good, plus, like, whoever else I can, like, con into being in my vicinity. Oh, it's a pair hand. Motherfucker. I'm dumb as hell. That's the only reason that was, like, reasonable shapes in the first place. Oh, well. It's like, what is the appropriate level of customization and, like, visual glitz to expect out of this? I had a really nice fucking bus-powered interface. We're just moving towards Tanyao, it's fine. That was like... I was really happy with the way it worked. It had a bunch of inputs, bunch of outputs. The software was super stable, but it wasn't bus-powered, it was wall-powered. And in the Missouri place, in the Kansas City place, we had terrible electric. It was like dire stuff. Yeah. And so, whenever I had anything hooked up to it, I would always get this crackling on the outputs that I was, like, completely fucking unable to diagnose. Why the con, do you suppose? And I tried everything to fucking resolve it, and could never figure it out. And eventually, I just, like, gave up and swapped interfaces to something that was bus-powered, and the crackling went away, obviously. And that's the interface that I have now. But now I'm waiting for it to cause its own set of problems, because Focusrite's software is kind of just not very fucking good. I probably should have called. I have the fantasy of staying closed and turning over crazy value in, like, the last couple of discards. but I doubt that that's going to happen, and now I'm, like, in time trouble in Noten. Very scary. After this game, I'm actually gonna open something that, like, was surprising to me. Because I have some thoughts about a particular system that this game used, and I wanted to, like, put that on display. That's my own damn fault. That is my own damn fault for not seeing that. I deserve everything that was coming to me. Well, at least somebody else drowned harder than I did, but that's still pretty painful. I wonder how the fucking soul orb and the fucking meter system interact. Now, am I talking about a game on the advent calendar or a Mahjong client? Sorry about the Windows noise, by the way. Let's open PCSX2. YouTube wants me to search for Bluey full episodes, which is just fucking awesome. I don't have shutdown source when not visible checked on my fucking chat views, so I wonder why they're not rendering new messages when I'm not on the scene. It's very strange behavior. I assume it's gonna tell me that I have, like, a game to continue or something, or that I can load. Okay, here we go. So, like, this is Pro Mahjong Kiwame Next, and it has a game type that looks like a regular game of Mahjong, but actually appears to be based on the idea of, like, discard finesse. One thing is that I Google lensed this option, and it's like slam usually or R2 plus circle only. And I think usually is denoted there because the PS2 has pressure-sensitive face buttons, and this game has a feature that allows you to discard something really hard based on how hard you're hitting the button. Now, obviously, I don't have pressure-sensitive face buttons on this thing, so I am always going to be 1-800 Are You Slammin'? And that's good, because discarding things really hard actually has a gameplay function in this, which is very confusing. Also, it has an auto table color selector, and I'm willing to bet you can unlock more models of auto table elsewhere in the game. And the reason I believe this is because I believe that the people making this game were just so fucking fascinated by auto tables. And, like, well, what gives you that impression? You'll fucking figure it out. I'll select random opponents here. Love that guy. So how can you tell these people really like auto tables, Tyron? Just let it play out. It's making the shuffle noise. They're willing to sacrifice so much for this perspective that you can't even see opponent hands are called sets like this. You've got to, like, pan around the table for that information, which is just completely fucking useless and deranged. But, like... Okay, so now get ready. Your objective is not actually to win, as far as I can tell. It is to obtain a high level of Mahjong sense. And you achieve Mahjong sense by discarding tiles that fucking make sense consecutively and as quickly as possible. And the idea is that you only earn sense for discards that you believe in, that you slam really hard. So you can discard regular stuff if you're not sure about it, and neither gain nor lose points. But if you discard something really hard, if it's a sensible tile, you gain score. And if not, you break your combo and lose a fucking life. And then up top... Alright, let's see. Why don't you like it? Because up in that upper right was like a mood indicator that has something to do with like push fold judgments, whether like you're playing for value or speed, stuff like that. Alright, I think I'm being told that I fucked up basic tile efficiency. Tenho.net/2. Let's punch this in. 11789 mon 45 pin 2446788. So indeed, cutting 8 so accepts 16 kinds of tiles because you can take in both 3 and 4 so. Whereas cutting 2 so removes your ability to accept 3 so. And that's like catching the player in a mistake like that in the moment seems really useful to me as a teaching tool. Now granted, the assumption that you should always be playing for pure efficiency is itself like, it has problems. Probably a system like this that's willing to be very punitive should only be punitive in situations where a correct decision is really unambiguous. But like teaching players judgments about like speed versus value and push versus fold absolutely makes some sense, right? The text at the top right is translating to no, 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 no. Holy shit. Also, here's the manual on the Mahjong Sense system, which is 71 screens long. Well. So what now, right? Sense. But yeah, the combo system is like nonsense. But also, there's a multiplier that's added to your sense score if you discard something quickly. I love the scare chord on fucking Limit Hands, by the way. And I think, like, the game is more fun when you play fluidly and, like, play quickly, I would say. So teaching players to value that by encouraging them to push themselves as quickly as they're capable of. You can speed this up, by the way. That's cool, right? That's just, like, a conceptually neat idea. And every time I encounter something like this, I feel the feature creep setting in. It's scary. Also, you draw tiles upside down sometimes and discard them upside down. It's great. Like, we don't believe in that auto-arrange bullshit. I appreciate games that, like, care a lot about the feeling of physicality when it comes to, like, trivial bullshit like this. Also, opponents slamming tiles is just funny as hell. It's like, polite discard, slam! It's like, okay, but why did you believe in it that badly? Why does the AI do that? Deeply strange behavior. Do I want to take in 2 pairs here? Yeah, we moved on a little bit from Neverwinter. A small amount. Are you gonna punish me for staying in? Well, that's safe and it's, like, sensible, so... We're like, nice. I'm not crazy, right? This is fucking Kino?
Bitch.
I don't know what point at my life I'm in where I, like, think this is the coolest thing ever. But I think this is the coolest thing ever. Let's hear it. Is it a basic efficiency error? It wanted 4-pin, but... And of course, trying to Google Lens this gives me, like, unintelligible nonsense. It's calling you out for missing Sanshoku opportunities. Really? But, like, I'm not, though, right? I mean, I guess? Fuck, man, Mahjong is hard. Gods Tenpai, life is good. Obviously, you don't get combo bonuses in Riichi. Oh shit, nice! I fucking forgot which button it was to actually bring up call prompts. It's fucking down on the D-pad, by the way, in case you were wondering. So it's shouting at me for declining Ron. And then, yep, sadness. Great sadness. But yeah, this, like, now exists in your brain as, like, a deeply confusing thing. I don't even know what the main game is. But it appears to use the sense system as well. So free match is different from this in, like, the sense that you can freely set the difficulty and the color of the table? Who fucking knows, man? But what if I simply perceived the invisible fucking toy? Is it really worth considering Sanshoku on that level? That seems subjective. I guess the efficiency isn't, but... Isn't it wild that you can be so fucking bad at a game that, like, includes exactly one type of choice? What a beautiful fucking mess. But yeah, shit like that is just, like, sitting in my fucking brain rent-free as, like, hey, do you want to, like, make this project incredibly difficult for yourself for no actual fucking reason whatsoever? And genuinely, like, catching the player in the moment for stuff like that is super cool. Even if it's not right all of the time, like, having some mechanism during play to, hey, be like, hey, maybe next time you're in this situation, consider this. Teaching people the game is a problem, and I feel like as an area of opportunity for a new client, like, actually having a fucking tutorial that makes sense and is, like, for humans is nice. Because definitely everybody I've ever talked with about Reachy kind of approaches it as, like, you just have to play it badly and incorrectly while someone sits over your shoulder and explains it to you for some amount of time, and then you'll get it. And even clients that are, like, very popular and doing well seem to be unable to, like, move past that. Whereas, like, have you ever done the Mahjong Soul tutorial? It's fucking nonsense. I can't wait for the Steam reviews when it fucking comes out on Steam in a couple days, and people are like, yeah, but what does no Yaku even mean, though, man? And yeah, the Komodo Mahjong score tally screen is nice as well. There's a couple of PS2 games I've encountered that give foo readouts. And generally, I think for somebody who's focused on playing digitally, it is not critically important that they be able to, like, calculate foo in general. I actually have to use the 21.9 layout for this because this is a fucking phone game. But, like, tile set like this, it's approachable enough. But yeah, making the sound design satisfying, providing the information in a way that, like, people can, like, look deeper into the situation if they want. Yeah, the dragon tiles are very funny. I like them quite a lot. Yeah, Komodo Mahjong is, like, often brought up as, like, having a really friendly, like, new player experience and stuff like that. And I don't know necessarily that I agree. But I think it does do a lot of things that are, like, interesting and worthwhile. Like, I can't... It's difficult for me to put myself in the perspective of a new player, but I find it difficult to believe that people are going to look at the game flow tutorial of this game, where it spends, like, a full 8 to 10 modal dialogue boxes explaining how the fuck to set up a physical game, and go like, oh, this is useful to me. Yeah, look at that. It's fucking... You got the foo breakdown. You got the Yaku breakdown, and, like, you click on an underlined Yaku, and it gives you, like, an example of how it works right there. It's like, is it visually super polished and exciting? No. But I think in a lot of ways, this is the best thing in its class at, like, doing what it is trying to do. Which is not necessarily just having furries in it, for what it's worth, but, like, providing a mechanism for people to, like, get into the game. It's doing a lot of things that other clients simply aren't. And yeah, obviously on this resolution, it's a little bit funny. Actually, I wonder if... Really quickly, right? If I go to settings, full screen off. If I put this thing into fucking portrait... Oh, my game capture is so fucking sad about that. Yeah, it does do it! It'll give me the phone layout. See that shit? What the fuck? It's like, nah, man, this is great. Y'all got games on your phones?
Run.
There he is. Switch to the pinball layout. The pinball layout uses a completely separate game capture for bullshit technical reasons. It's very bad. Yeah, these are some gentlemen, I would say. Like, it's not all Bara Anthros, but, like, enough of it is that we kind of know where your allegiances lie. And then, of course, if you, like, go to the Steam reviews for this game, the AI cheats. I don't like the personality. People making furry puns. CPU players have an unfair advantage. There is a very high rate of Ricci in this game. The game is unwinnable. Had a winning hand and had to discard 4 tiles that would have won me the match, all set with that crap. Makes 0 sense. What is a Yaku? I'm gonna hit the button again. I really enjoy having that button. Consistent access to that sound with the, like, the press of a finger is just... I don't feel responsible. You should make it a redeem. I keep telling people I don't know how to do that because the software is too garbage. But yeah, here's the fucking situation I'm in at the moment, where it's like, oh, teaching players a lifelong appreciation for the game. Fucking fusing the joy of gambling with, like, the long-term satisfaction and self-improvement that comes with, like, hidden information strategy games with a lot of high variance. Cultivating a mindset that's, like, resilient to results-oriented, outcome-based thinking, and emphasizes instead confidence in your decisions and the ability to be content with, like, the choices that you make as, like, I am playing the best game of Mahjong that I can play in this situation. And then the desire for that is sharing space with the desire for this specifically. You're doing great, sweetheart. Really happy for you. Even people who hate everything have to acknowledge that there is some value in this. She's doing great. And it's like, fundamentally, as much as we talk about fucking strategy games, connect people with the joy of gambling just a little bit. Just a little bit. Small amount. A smidge. I'm gonna die mad about how good the sound design is in this fucking game. I have to, like, go outside and look at some birds or something. Alright, thank you for coming along for another completely worthless stream about nothing. Bye!